Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
And Braylon Edwards is back in the building. What up, though?
What's good,
What up, though?
ladies and gentlemen? So excited to be back. What's going on, Kool-Aid, man? I missed you a lot. My brother Cam missed you as well. And then I
Missed
get
you,
to
bro.
come back to one of my longtime friends, Anson, sitting to the left of me, man. Excited to be back. Woodward Sports Network, to be excited to be back on my own show. So much has happened since I've been gone. I feel like a lot has happened, but in the words of Varnell Hill, did you miss me?
We
What up,
did.
Had to
though?
throw that out there, man. Miss you guys. Chat, miss you as well. Got a chance to tap in on New Year's Day with Kool-Aid and tell you how I feel about
sir.
you. And it won't change. 2026, more energy, more content. This is going to be a lot of fun, man. But before we dive into yesterday, which was not a what's the word? It was not a moral victory, but it was a necessary victory for the Detroit Lions and the necessary
that.
intensity and attitude. We'll get into that in a second, but. It's a new year. It's 2026. Anson Wells looking good, shaved a little bit, I see. Talk about it, man. How you feeling? What's new? What was your weekend like?
Hey, yesterday was like a pickleback after a terrible season shot, man.
Ooh,
we
nice
needed
call.
it. I got to say, I was in here last week and did some battling with your partner, Shep, but I really like being on this side of the desk. I'm not going to lie.
100%, man. Shep's a great guy. I look
Shout
forward
out.
to get back with him sometime this week. But he's a stubborn one at times.
Hey, man,
it's
we
fun
had
to
some
go
fun.
back and forth. But that's what it's like.
Yeah.
You got to be stubborn on
That's
your
right.
points. Cam, good to be with you as well, man. I know you're the newest addition to the show, man. But miss you as well. What was your weekend like? How's your New Year been thus far, man? What you been up to?
I think he's dressed fabulous.
Yeah, I've been laying low, enjoying Detroit sports. It was really nice to watch Ohio lose, catch some football playoffs.
Priorities. This man has his
Yeah.
priorities
There we
set.
go.
He also he earned a nickname while you were out. Have you heard it?
Cam has a nickname already?
Yeah.
What's his?
Sweet Potato Cam.
Oh, no, I did know that.
Okay.
Sweet potato.
Oh, sweet potato. Oh, excuse me.
Potato.
Oh, brother. Brother. Sweet potato.
Potato.
And then my right hand, man, whom this show wouldn't be possible without. Kool-Aid, a.k.a. Brandon Dan, man. What is going on with you?
Hey.
How have you been, man? I miss you, brother. How's the family?
Miss you, bro.
How are you? How are things?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. I enjoyed the holiday special with
Okay.
our guy Broder and Justin.
It was a
Tapping
lot
in
of
with
fun.
everybody, and you know what? Spend a holiday season with the family as well, and to make sure I got a good Sunday off too. So
sir.
shout out to my guy. But I mean, everybody here works hard, and it's interesting. This job, it feels more like family. It feels more like the objective to life. And so when you're away from it, you get a little bit of a refresh and a recharge, but you definitely want to get back to the kind of the normal swing of things. So
No doubt.
ready to go, including Pistons, Knicks tonight.
Ooh,
Let's go.
That's going to be interesting.
you mispronounced Knicks.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
peasants.
Hold on. Peasants. There we go. See, I know where you were going. See, I caught on. I now know what it is when you mean
There we
doing
go.
that.
52 years.
go.
We'll get into that. Two individuals not
Oh,
playing that game. Jalen Duran.
53 years. It's 2026. My bad.
No Jalen Duran last night, as well as Tobias Harris.
Didn't
and
matter.
that will continue tonight for the Detroit Pistons. We'll get
right.
into that in the second
sir.
hour before we talk about a wonderful event that we are proud and privileged to have right in our own backyard today. A great partnership with none other than Amon-Ra St. Brown. We'll get into that. Who was phenomenal yesterday.
Ooh, he was.
Phenomenal yesterday. Phenomenal yesterday. We'll start there.
Leave it
when we
on the
start, but
field, legend.
You have to get away from time to time. The reason why I took my time off is I've been doing that since I've been working at the network, taking that 2 weeks off at the end of the year.
Refresh.
You got to
Recharge.
You got to refresh. You got to disconnect. You got to decompress. A lot happened last year. There was a lot of death. It was a lot of good things that happened, a lot of positivity. I stared at a lot of different people in that same chair, in that booth, in this
Yes,
booth
sir.
as well. So
Yes, sir.
at the end of the year, it's good to decompress, take time, and it will bring you back to what you want to do. And Kool-Aid, that's what you talk about. You said you missed it on that day.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how I am now. It's like it got to the point where day 4, you're like, this is cool. This is all right, man. I like this. Day 5, 6, you're like,
Miss my boys.
So what's going on? Day 10, I'm like scratching. I'm losing my mind.
Like, yo,
what
bro,
is going on?
Especially when your family is a part of the journey too.
Oh,
Because
my
they're
God.
sitting there like,
They're looking at
what
you.
do we do?
They're like, so you still got a job? You all right? You still working? Now hold on. Do I need to call Woodward Sports? Are you lying to me? Because I've been noticing some things. But yeah, man. And then also too, I didn't get a haircut for 2 weeks. My barbers plural, shout out. They went out of town, so I've been looking like a hobo until today. So you're not working, and you look like a hobo / hermit. It's like, man, do I have a job? But you know what? The answer
You start questioning life.
You do. You got to start questioning life, man. But nothing much has changed about me. I'm just ready to rock and roll, man. And yesterday
Smash
was
that like
a
button.
Still
great
a legend.
start. Appreciate you guys. Comment on what you did in this new year and what you want to change this new year. For me, I just want to stay like I was last year. I want to be intentional. I want to be intentional about things, work on my relationship with you-know-who, the man above. And I want to give this network, and I want to get everything that deserves it, everything about me.
Did you have a New Year's resolution?
No, I don't do resolutions.
Okay.
I don't do resolutions.
I don't really do, but I definitely I started early December of getting healthy, eating right, and working out again, and so it's made first few days of this month much easier this year.
Yeah, I do have one resolution. I do have one resolution, I should say, doesn't have an S on it though. No more sports betting for me. No more sports betting.
Hey.
No more sports betting for me. I'm finally gonna let that go. Nobody wins in the game of sports
Nickel
betting.
slots, man.
And
I'm
that's
telling
fine.
you.
No.
Bet the 10 cents. That way you can still talk about it. Every once in a while you hit a $180 parlay on 10 cents. I know it's wild, but
you go.
you already won the life lottery, bro. You're not going
I
to win
did.
anything.
I did, and that's why I'm like, what am I trying to do?
You're
'Cause
just
also,
throwing it
too,
away.
They're also taxing on losses now. Very idiotic now. There you go.
My old man always called the lottery the poor man's tax, man. You won the life lotto, Bray. Look at you. Don't throw your money away.
Definitely did win that lottery, you know what I'm saying, as it relates to the life lottery. I saw
you
something
did.
now. They have a new game, a new contest. This is different than the Lions conversation, but they have a microscopic, what is it? A microscopic, what is it? A microscopic, I can't think of what it is, but basically you can see the process, the swimming process, if you would. So I have two individuals and you can see whose swimmers are faster.
Oh, those swimmers.
Yeah, 100%. So when you say the life, I'm like, well, they actually
Different Olympiad.
Well, it's a viral thing that you can watch now and see. Anyway, that's another subject. The subject at hand, it was
Can you bet on that?
yes,
You can.
yes.
Oh, then
Like
I'm
100%.
interested.
They have the microscope, you put it down, you can see, and then they
Can we get a whole WSN
tomorrow
ranking?
You and I are working
for all of us?
You and I are working together tomorrow as well. Tomorrow I will bring in what I'm talking about, so we can see the video and we can get this thing rocking and rolling.
Chat will be here for that.
Oh my
100%.
God.
Speaking of rock and speaking of rolling, Amon-Ra St. Brown is probably the rock for the Detroit Lions as it relates to the offensive side of the ball, especially without a Panay Sewell. You know who he is, man.
rock,
He is the sun guy. Yesterday, he put it all on display, and I start with him because he's dealt with injuries at the end of the year. He put it on the line yesterday in another game in which you're like, can he go? What does he have left? Well, he had a lot left, 139 yards, 11 catches. I mean, this is what the team had left too. Going into this game Thursday, we talked Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And everybody asked, is it important for the Stars to play this game? What would you do? Would you sit out, get ready for next year, risk the chance of injury, or do you play the game? Kool-Aid, the conversation we had, I said it's about pride. And I didn't mean that because the Lions are the Lion pride. Obviously, we know what that is. But it's pride. It's a season where you're 8-8. You want to finish over 500. You want to finish with a promise of what next year brings.
Yeah, bro.
You want to finish showing these fans that you care. Fan base is a little bit, they're a little bit in disarray in what the season was supposed to be and what it turned into. So going into that game, I was of the mind, you got to have your guys go out there. You got to have your guys play, man. You got to give all that you can. Anson, Kool-Aid, I think the Lions did a little bit more than that. Yesterday, they got the win 19-16, and they blanked the Chicago Bears offense. Quarter one, quarter two, quarter three. Seems like this team showed up for one Dan Campbell, who a lot has been made about this season. And they also, the defensive side, showed up for Kelvin Shepard, who some things have been made about. Anson, what is your take on yesterday in the game?
It's been since the 50s since we had 4 straight winning seasons. And I keep coming back to this. I know the chat hates me for it, but when they sat down with Spielman, Sheila, and everybody else, it was about bringing in a winning culture and a winning franchise. We're so accustomed to this team being great and then missing the playoffs the next year. But that was usually they were 5-11 or 5-12. This is a 9-8 team that barely missed the playoffs. You can look at a myriad of moments in 3 to 4 or 5 different games where this team could be in with that win last night. You have to come out there and you have to continue to be gritty. You have to show your fans why they have the highest price tag in the NFL, because they're going to re-up again next year, and that everybody, whether you're bandwagon, new money, old as hell, it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be in on this team. If you go out and you limp some people out, you listen to the scared fans that wanted to sit the rock yesterday, and then this guy goes out and just absolutely owns the Bears. That's what you want to see from this franchise for the first 4 years, for the next 14 years.
Yeah, and I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about what Bray was saying, because I remember that conversation last week, bro. It was on effectively getting your perspective, because everybody in Detroit is saying was, get your draft positioning, rest your starters. There's literally nothing to play for because you cannot make the playoffs. Yeah. And so I was just intrigued about, let's get this from the mouth of an actual NFL player, because you hear Dan Campbell say things like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we're going to make sure that we play whoever dresses. You heard Amon-Ra before the game say things, and some people thought it was just Bula. And so that's why I appreciated at least when you were able to give your answer on it, because for me personally, man, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's church league. I don't care if it's rec league. Like, we out there, we know how it is. Man, we're playing with the sprained ankle. We'll just go and tape up the messed up thumb or the jammed fingers and just keep it going, because that's the way that we grew up playing it. And it was refreshing after the game to hear them go right back to that. You heard Amon-Ra several times reference, we have the privilege to play this thing. It's a kid's game, but it's a game that we love. It's a game we signed up for to give all. If we could give our all, we will give our all. And when you see Taylor Decker after the game, as emotional as he was, thinking about the fact that not just that this might be the last game for some players in terms of teammates, like they might be going to new teams, but what about players like a Taylor Decker? You know what I mean? Who he's out there giving his all. This might be his last opportunity to do something that he loves. Yeah. Everyone can see he's clearly emotionally torn about it. And so for people like, I think we miss that sometimes. As fans, there's a perspective we have on it, but it was refreshing to get your take on it as a player, the pride that goes into it, what's going on in that locker room. Even this morning, I was sending out some stuff like, look at this. And Bray was like, I was more intrigued by what was going on in the locker room. And I like that with your perspective. So I think it added a lot to the conversation. It was cool to see them go out there and just play to actually win the game against a Bears team who was trying to win too.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing too, Kool-Aid. It's not one of those situations where it was the end of the season. The Bears went to the half and said, hey, look, man, we're going to sit our guys down. This is the end of the season for us. We're still going to be a 2 or 4 seed. No, the Bears are very much trying to win that game. They're trying to win that game at every turn, at every cost. You saw what the fourth quarter was, 16 points they scored, and they almost got a chance to fight back, but almost only works in hand grenades and horseshoes. Lions do get the win. The energy in which they were made in the game yesterday, Kool-Aid, for me, it was a strong one. It was definitely it was a call to the fan base. It was a call to themselves in the locker room. It was a call to Dan Campbell. Hey, look, we understand what the season has been. We understand in terms of what our goals were. Goals were Super Bowl to start the season. It was a letdown in that regard. But we don't have to end on a letdown. We don't have to end, you know what, season's over. Let's just pack it in and we'll get to the offseason. No, let's go out here and show why we're a team that people believe in. Let's show why we're a team that people love the culture and the identity and how we fight for the city. And I think that's what you saw. You saw a team that you could watch that game, Anson, and you could see the Lions like, man, this is who we are.
The Lions
gave this is what we should be.
The Lions gave their fan base a very important reminder as the season closed as to what this entire team is all about. Looking at I got some good super chats coming in here. Just threw me off of this one.
Take your time. We'll get to the super chats in about a couple minutes.
Go ahead. Go ahead and go back there. Sorry, I had something. This one just really threw me off.
Are you good? I'll cue you back up in a sec then. Watching that game yesterday, it showed this is the team that they are. This is how they feel. I've seen a lot of teams. I've been a part of teams who have just frankly quit at the end of the season. They've let go at the end of the season, and it's not what you saw of the Detroit Lions.
I remember here.
Okay.
It's not only did we need a reminder, but there was a lot of questions that were result of overthinking by freaked out Lions fans. Monty's unhappy. I don't think he was. I don't think that there was anything about that tweet more than just him clicking something. He obviously took it away. He saw how people reacted to it, but you saw the coaching staff with a renewed commitment to him the last 2 weeks. There's no problem there. You look at a lot of different things up and down this team. People were asking if Dan Campbell had lost this locker room. Are you guys nuts? Who are we talking about right here? You saw the locker room was not lost yesterday by any means. There are a ton of questions that I didn't think were that realistically. They shouldn't have been asked, to be quite honest. I didn't think that they deserved that kind of lack of faith on the Lions fan base part. And I think that all of those overthinking concerns for Lions fans were absolutely answered. Now it all comes back to staff and personnel.
And the questions are warranted. I don't mind the questioning. It's how you answer the questioning. Then questions are warranted. You look at how the Lions finished the season. Look at the Steelers game. Look at the Giants game. Look at the Minnesota Vikings game. You look at these games, you can understand why people ask those questions. Now you got the answer yesterday.
Yeah, I just don't like anybody questioning the culture of this team right now. You can question why we didn't win 12 games like we thought we were going to, why we barely missed the playoffs. You cannot question this culture. We are way too far away from that. Just a few losses, you really think that's how weak this team is? I thought y'all said SOL was over. If you are serious about this being a brand new Lions team, it's not about how they finish. It's about how they play. It's about how they show up and represent your city. And yesterday, they did that.
It definitely did that yesterday. We'll get into more of the season as a whole. Just looking at yesterday, 15 or 17, that's what's on the line yesterday. The 15th pick or the 17th pick. A lot of people will want the 15th pick, 2 picks up. The 17th pick, for me, it was the win. And the reason why I say it's the win, Brad has shown us that he can move up in the draft. He's shown us through the draft. He knows how to move, maneuver, this, that, and the third. There's not really a difference between the 15th and the 17th pick. But there is a difference in energy in an offseason. If you go into the offseason, Kool-Aid, Cam, now you've lost 3 games in a row.
4
games in a row. You go from Super Bowl was the aim, Super Bowl was the goal. See, at the end of the season, we lose 4 in a row. Now we go into the offseason under 500. You go into the offseason 8-9, losing 4 in a row. Now those questions that you talk about, now they get bigger. Now the offseason seems like a more insurmountable task. When now you look at it, it's like, you know what? We have guys in the position, whether it's St. Brown, whether it's Penei Sewell, whether it's a laundry list of players that are the best at what they do or in the top 5, 6, 7, 8 in their position. You just got to go out and make some other moves this offseason. This will be a very interesting offseason, though. Like, now you're not in a situation to where you can thumb your nose up at certain things. You're not in a situation to where you can play with draft picks. You're not in a certain situation where you can save money and say, we don't necessarily need that. You're now in a situation where those things have to be met. The draft is very important now. You're looking at that draft a lot differently than you have in the last couple of years. The free agency market, you're looking at that a lot more different than you have the last couple of years. So it's going to be interesting. But when you start with a win, when you start with showing a team that's committed, when you start with showing both sides, it wasn't just offense. It was offense and defense, committed. You see that? That's how you start an offseason. I love the finish yesterday. Didn't like the season, but I love the finish yesterday.
Yeah, another question that I felt was somewhat answered, even though I don't love the answer, was Kelvin Shepard's return. I think if they get blown out in that game, he might not have a job next year.
You looking at Raheem Morris?
I think that this is a franchise now. We're at a point where we can go out and select the premier talent, whether it's personnel or it's coaching. And I think that we kind of took that 6th-round guy from Canada mentality with our OC and DC, where we were going to have them here for 3 or 4 years. Listen, I'll take yearly change if it means that our offense or our defense was that damn good that guy got a head coaching job next year. Give me a Ben Johnson every year here, and I'll say goodbye to them every year after, because that means we're that damn good.
Yeah, I think on the defensive side of the ball, I agree with some of what you say. I think on the defensive side of the ball, you'll get better. You'll get more players this year. You'll add some players that can help you on defense, whether it's interior. And some players we'll get rid of, and that's another conversation that we'll have later on. But it's players that you'll add, whether it's some linebacker or 2, whether it's a defensive interior, whether it's a cornerback or 2, stability in that room. You add those players, you're going to get better on defense. I think that will help Kelvin Shepard out. On the offensive side of the ball, though, I think, to your point, you got to find a premier guy. You got to take your time. Like, this offseason is going to be about patience, too. It's about patience. That's what I'm at right now. That's what you talk about resolutions. I want to be patient.
Yeah.
I want to be more patient, more resolved. When we talk about the Kyle Whittingham situation in the 3 o'clock hour, relax. Be patient. Everybody wants to be so quick to have this answer, have that answer. And we got to relax and be patient. And that's what we're going to do with this situation, too. Lions got to be patient because the guy is there. The guy is out there. You just got to find him.
I'll be patient for the answers on this, but at some point in the next 40 minutes, I'm going to throw a list of about 10 names at you.
Okay.
Because for the first time in a long time, we are going to have to say goodbye to some Lions we have come to love.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that for sure.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that because I actually came up to the structure with the offseason kind of will look like through my eyes. If I was Dan Campbell, if I was Brad Holmes, how I'll work that. I got like a 5 kind of list deal. This is the structure for how I want to approach the offseason. Look, let's get a commercial break in because this is going to be a quick show. It's going to be a quicker show. It's only an hour and 45 minutes. And the reason why it is only an hour and 45 minutes, we'll save that, is because of the Amon-Ra St. Brown news. But here we go. Vin Johnson. Let's get into Vin Johnson. First read of the year. It is Vin Johnson. Look, Vin Johnson's been doing this for a very long time at a very high rate. He is the fighter. He's been fighting so long, and he's got the people on his staff, on his crew, in his firm that will fight for you. Whether it's a settlement or verdict, it doesn't matter because Vin, they want all the smoke over there, and they will get you the settlement, they will get you the verdict, and they will get you the decision. Not that you need, but that you deserve. Let him fight for you.
And if you want justice on game day, you want 80 wall-to-wall TVs, you want 22-plus draft beers, and you want an awesome menu of amazing food.
Hey, bro, if they're not at LCA tonight, where should they be to watch the Pistons game?
They need to be at your local Art and Jake's.
Tell them.
Hey, you guys have already come out and joined us for a few of the Lions games. We're going to be doing some Pistons games with these guys as well. We got some real cool stuff coming up. But if you haven't already been there, you have to. If you've been there, you already know. Art and Jake's, the best place to catch a game with the best food around. Art and Jake's.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Planet Fitness is for everyone. Over 2,700 clubs nationwide and 50 in metropolitan Detroit. Look, they're the gym for you because they're the gym for everybody. We're all strong on this planet. And that planet is Planet Fitness. Access to the Black Card Spa where you can recover with hydro massage and other innovative amenities. Bring a guest anytime for free, by the way. It's just $24.99 a month and the regular membership is $10.99 a month. Planet Fitness, this is the gym for you. This is the gym I work out where your fitness is essential.
Hey, the Lions season might be over, but we will still be smashing Sun Cruisers. That is for sure. I have never seen a drink take this network by storm the way that Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea has. It's real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles, just a clean, crisp sip that won't fill you up on game day or any other day. This season, Pistons season, Red Wings season, it doesn't matter what the season is. It is Sun Cruiser season. Please drink responsibly.
I'm pretty sure a lot.
You said coming in, this was about showing that it's really about guys that want to play hard. What did you guys show?
Yeah, it's about pride. There's a lot of guys on this team and a lot of guys that are the leaders and good players on this team that are going to be here next year, and to come out and play the way we did, and to put it to them early. They're a good playoff team. They're going to have a good run here, and it means something.
We're so, what Dan Campbell preaches to us each and every week, the grit, the fight for one another. And yeah, this is not the year we wanted. None of us on this team, but just one more time to go out and do what we love. I think it means a lot. I mean, obviously next year. It's going to be a complete, different team, new guys. But to finish this year off, with a win, back in the win column after having lost 3 in a row, it means a lot for us. And honestly, just to be out here with the guys, play the game that we love, and get a dub. That's the best part.
I love that energy, too. There was a part of that interview where Jared Goff talked to, and he looked at Amon-Ra St. Brown and said, there's no one else in this league that I'd rather throw the ball to. I really appreciate their friendship and their chemistry. I think it's dope. Amon-Ra, he says right there, though, you hear that. He said, look, man, we play this game we love. He said, look, it's not the season that we wanted. He said, but we have another opportunity to go out there, finish on a high note, and that's exactly what they did. They almost didn't finish on a high note.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
Look, I didn't want to make this a complete love fest for the Detroit Lions. We love them, but the season was what the season was. There was a moment in that game that looked very similar to the inconsistencies of the season. You see that literally 232.
The inconsistencies of your lifetime, bro.
I don't want to go there. You said there's no more of those 3 letters. But you see Dave Montgomery goes out of bounds, 232. Goes out of bounds. That's the play where he definitely wants to make the decision to stay in bounds. He goes out of bounds. And then Dan Campbell, who's the play caller, they call 2 passes.
Unbelievable.
You call 2 passes in a moment where you're literally, this is the time to run.
One of them got flagged.
100%. And then you throw a pass down the field. It gets tipped. It gets intercepted. And then they go down. So we get the stop. They don't get a chance to tie it at 19-19 and go to overtime. We get the win. But moments like that, that's kind of how the season looked this year.
I was kind of shocked that the Zebras gave us the reciprocal intentional grounding call. Because without that, without both teams going into a, 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20, whatever it was, man, I forgot about that because we were in the post game last night and I had that and it's like, well, this game's going one way or the other. I'm going to either lead with what you just brought up, or we're not going to talk about it at all because we were talking about the pickleback. We had the nice taste in our mouth last night. Well, I'm going to tell you, man, like you said, that would have been just, 4 Horsemen, Prairie Fire. Oh, my goodness. If that game would have ended the way you just described, good Lord.
But it didn't. It ended in a win, and also, too, I appreciate it was the defense.
Resolve, baby.
Defense. They gave up 16 points. They gave up 16 points, but when you needed them, it was a bend but don't break defense for them. They got the stop, and then they end up winning that game. You wanted to talk about this season and some players, and you got the chat excited talking about some players. Mm-hmm. You gave me a list of names, and I want you to get the same list of names. And what was that list you said?
Well, the very first one I think I've seen a bunch of times in here. It's somebody that I told you guys beginning of the season would not be back. And it's merely because of his age. It's somebody we love.
Oh, here.
And it is Anson. Enzo, I don't believe will be back this year. Now, he had a down year.
Yeah.
He's going to try the market out. Maybe the market doesn't return what he had hoped for. Maybe there's still a soft landing here. Is that possible, guys?
I think I'm very appreciative of what Alex Anzalone has been for the Detroit Lions. He coming from the Saints. He came here, man. He gave them stability at that position, and he got better and better as the years went on for Alex Anzalone. He has become a much better player,
no doubt.
Than he was.
Fans weren't necessarily on board in the beginning.
No, they weren't. I was not either, because I didn't think he covered well enough in coverage. And you saw a little bit of that this year, but he's a little bit older now. So, but we appreciate the work he's done, man. Like, he really was the guy. He was the guy on defense that you could depend on for that intensity. That guy on defense that he was the dot that would get guys lined up. St. Brown said something interesting in that interview as well. He said, we know there's going to be new guys here next year. Yeah, he alluded to that in that interview, Anson. So he knows that there will be new guys here too. One of the biggest things in the structure and what I broke down is I made a little list of things, like the 5 things that I think the Lions need to, prioritize in this draft. What the heck is going on my list? There's so many papers up here. Everybody's excited.
My man always got the notes.
But you have to have notes. You have to write things down if you don't.
Yes, sir.
Anson, you touched on one of them, which is the most important. But rebuilding the O-line, I think, is one of the main focus points for this offseason. Number two, I think the free agent targets. You have to target the right free agents this offseason. Restore Sonic and Knuckles. You talked about that. You said it seems like they're back on the same page. It seems like he and David Montgomery and the team are fine. I don't know that to be true.
I don't think they ever were off the same
I don't know
page.
it to be true, but if it is, then they need to get back on the same page as it relates to Sonic and Knuckles. And that is created through the offensive line. And then also, too, tighten up the secondary, and I think that's bringing in veteran secondary members. I think you got to bring in 2 veterans that can play that game and help that room as well. And the main thing, I think, is managing the super tax. And the super tax is what we're alluding to, because you got some bills that are about to come due. Whether it's Laporta, what are you doing with that? Whether it's Gibbs, what are you doing with that? Whether it's Branch, what are you doing with that? And then also now, Anson, it's players that you want to keep, players that you want to maintain. Who do you want to keep paying, and who do you want to relieve yourself of? Now I think that's when we get into this.
Can they afford to allow Roy Lopez to get snagged by another team? Because that's a player who I thought as the season went on, I don't know. I never really bumped my gums, but as the season went on, it was just like, you know what, he's solid. And now as you think about the fact that he could be gone or that he's going to get some attention on the free agency market, it just makes me think a little bit, especially if you might lose some players along that linebacker and that and along the defensive line as well.
Yeah, it's going to be about what the market dictates, what the market looks like. Because I think of another name in El-Quadin Muhammad. El-Quadin Muhammad
he's gonna get attention,
and that's the problem. El-Quadin Muhammad, 11 sacks this year, his best year of his career. He's on market to make $11 to $14 million. Are the Lions willing to pay El-Quadin Muhammad $12 million to
and
just
Roy, like $6 to $8 million?
Exactly. Like that becomes a problem because now we're talking about the money. Where do you renegotiate? Where do you let a player go? Anson, give me that list so we can kind of see who are the guys that we're thinking, I'm okay with this person leaving. I don't know if I'm okay with this person leaving.
So let's just hang out in the 30s. Okay. Anzo at 31, I don't believe he will be back.
No.
Khalif Raymond, it's end of his contract, also in his 30s. Another guy that I think in the beginning of the year I told everybody I didn't think he'd be back. Right now, we kind of got into it. We spent a little more time on this than we expected. You saw him make some very strong plays as a receiver yesterday.
This season, really?
Yeah, this season.
He's a third down guy.
And this season, he also set the all-time record for a Lions punt returner.
And missed 2-3 games.
And now this is a low capital position. Most teams are going to spend a 6th, 7th rounder or maybe a UDFA to try and fill this position. But it is a crucial position. As we've seen, we've had years where we had no return game. And then we had guys like Mel Gray, where it made you realize how impactful that is. And I think Khalif Raymond not only is impactful as a player, but might be one of the biggest voices in that locker room. We've seen them. If you could date your sister, you had to choose one Lion. I think over half the team they all chose Leaf. So Leaf is kind of one of the. I think he might still be back.
But you said it for me though when you say he's one of those voices. You know what, Leaf and talk about Anzo, 2 guys who may or may not be here next year. They were voices in that locker room. So it's not just that they might lose guys. They've lost guys over the last couple of years, but now it seems like they might lose some of those guys who have been voices or dependability for some time throughout this Lions rise.
The good thing about Anzalone is Anzalone has worked with Jack Campbell for the last 4 years. Like they've worked side by side for the last. You can tell Jack Campbell's under Anzalone, studying everything until last year when he got a chance to take over the green dot, and he's become a much better player this season after his experiment last year. So yes, you will lose Alex Anzalone, but you still have Jack Campbell, who is the leader of that defense now.
Big dog.
Well, Aiden's the big guy, but Jack's the guy that calls the huddle. And then as it relates to Khalif Raymond, love Khalif Raymond and what he does, but you went out and got a guy last year, man, in the 3rd round. That's going to be your third receiver this year. So
next is the offensive line. And Taylor Decker, 32, and he
sounds like he's
2 more years on his contract as well. Whether he'll play those out, we shall see. I've heard a lot of people thinking that he might retire early. I think he's coming back for another year.
You think he is?
I do, and I think that you can't come out You can't retire after a year like that. When you know that the offensive line is a large part of what held this team back. He knows they're going to get help.
You know what?
He knows that he can dial in. He knows one more year and this team can be back playing in February. Not back because they never were there. But I believe that offensive line, he wants one more crack at it. And the other guy is Graham Glasgow, 33, final, or excuse me, 33, final year of his contract as well. I think we get one last hurrah out of both those guys, and that's not crucial for high-end starting ability. I love Taylor still. What we saw was the ruining of the depth plan when our guy in the middle, Frank Ragnow, unceremoniously and out of nowhere kind of retired. I think that threw the whole offense and the whole offensive line into just spin cycle and some problems. We never recovered. We never figured out our depth. Those two, I think we need one more year from.
If we're keeping Graham, they need to keep him at left guard. And then with the Taylor Decker situation, that's going to be a situation where he has to assess the film this year and assess himself.
Yes.
Like, how much do I have left in the tank? If I come back to the 2026 season, am I hindering the Detroit Lions or am I helping the Detroit Lions? Kool-Aid?
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go as well. I have, that sound from Taylor Decker last night. Everybody saw him getting real emotional last night. And he was talking about the process that he's going to have to go through this off season.
I don't have an exact timeline on it. I would imagine it's going to be a couple months. I need to get away. I need to get away from football. I need to get my body feeling better. I need to make informed decisions. I need to get second opinions. There's a lot that I have to do because I want to make this decision moving forward informed. And I don't want to make it emotionally because if I make it emotionally, I already know what the answer is going to be. But it's a massive decision, and it's not only about me. It's about my kids. I'll get emotional about that, but just to be able to show up and be the father that I want to be. It's not about do I want to play football. So that's really important to me. Because I can make the selfish decision. I can keep playing until I can't walk anymore or I can't throw the ball with my kids. But that's not what you do as a father and a husband. So that's going to weigh heavily into my decision is what is the future quality of life of mine going to look like and how will that impact my kids?
When I was playing for the Jets, Sean Ellis, who was defensive end, a damn good player. He was a really good player for the New York Jets, and then as well as Jason Taylor, who now coaches at the University of Miami. The college football playoff, we got to get into that too. That's gotten pretty interesting this year. I still don't like it, but it's interesting. I'll give you that. This was the conversation I had with those in 2010. They were talking about why they wanted to, why it was going to be so tough in the offseason to figure out what they're going to do. They had kids, and it's the last thing he said, and that's when he started getting emotional. You think about the kids. You think about the recitals that you're missing, the games that you're missing, the dinner conversations that you're missing. You miss helping with homework or all the things that go into being a father, go into being a husband. Once you get later in your careers and you start seeing that, you start seeing it more and more and more. You start coming home, and at the end of the season, kids get a little older. And kids are young, and they're babies. It's nothing they can say, or 3 or 4. Kids get 4, 5, 6. It's like, hey, so, when are you going to hang them up? Or when are you going to be home? Or is this your last season?
Yeah.
And that starts to tax on you, too. And then also, too, you go back to the first part of the conversation. He's mentally and physically exhausted.
No doubt. I got to roll back my sentiments there, man. After seeing that, God bless you, for the battles you wage for us. But, man, he said it. If he chose right now, he'd be choosing emotionally, and let's give him some time.
Yeah.
Let's give him some time, guys.
100%. I think the emotional part is he's saying he'd come back. I think the other part is what he needs to do for his family, what he needs to do for his body, because when you're listening to him, you forget he was on the Lions team when he sucked. His guys on the Lions team when they suck. He was with the Quinn Tricia era. He went through that era. He got all the way to this era, which started.
I remember Dan was like, "Who was here when all these bad things?" And it was like only him.
And it was Taylor Decker, and he was the one that got them to buy into it. Dan Campbell, I remember that as well. He said, "I don't care what it is. Like if it's something different. We need something different here in Detroit." And it ended up being Dan Campbell. But when he says, "I need to see all the second hands that I need to get. I need to see what that looks like. I need to be informed." He wants to know what that body's looking like.
Yeah.
He wants to know what those injuries looking like. What does that look like over another season? Off season is rigorous.
Yep.
Because although you're chilling out, you're sitting up and you're doing sitting in the jacuzzis and the cold tanks and you're getting the massages and the chiropractic work, and you're gonna have to start working at some point. And he's asking himself, can I get through another season?
Yeah.
That's a long season.
It's a very honest and hard question he's asking himself. God bless Taylor Decker. Monty, we'll finish off the offensive guys. There's some people that thought Monty wasn't going to be back. I know there's some people talking about being traded. I thought the commitment that we saw to him in the run game these last 2 weeks, I think that shuts the door on any of that.
You got to be able to run the ball in December. You got to be able to run the ball when it's cold outside, when you're going to Pittsburgh and you're going to Chicago and you're going to Green Bay and you're going to since all these cold weather
Black
places,
and blue division, man.
100%. When you're going outside, you got to be able to run the
Yes,
football.
sir.
This is when Derrick Henry. This is when he eats. This is when the big guy eats.
It is.
And David Montgomery is one of those bruiser type backs that you got to use a little bit more. So the Sonic and Knuckle things is a real thing.
Yeah. Shout out King Henry for winning me my big money league, by the way.
Are you won the big money league?
My big money league. Yeah, I'm up 4 figures on the season, even though Stick got the one I really wanted. But let's move on to that defense there.
Yeah, we do have one super chat here from Dante 151.
Dante, what's up, brother?
999 super
Happy
chat.
New Year to you, man.
It's related to the offensive line, so I was like, we'll get to this one right before we move on. He says, I think, by the way, Decker and Skip in Glasgow is done playing football. Don't get me wrong. I want those three to stay, but what Decker went through this season is freaking insane. And you could see the confliction. He would still think about it. He said, I got to get second opinions. I got to get medical out of this. He would still play if they asked him to right in that moment. Like, that's insane. He's a warrior.
No doubt about it. You guys brought up AQM, 30 years old. Just finished in the top 15 of sacks. Guy, real surprise. I'd say the overachiever of the year for the Detroit Lions. I just think that the offers that he's going to get after what he did is going to
disqualify
price him outside of the Lions.
I think so. Because if I'm Detroit Lions, you got to ask yourself, am I paying $12, $13 million for a sack specialist?
At 30 years old.
On the opposite side of Aiden, who I paid to be a sack specialist.
And realistically,
he does it all.
Aiden's probably responsible for half those sacks that AQM got.
Opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson, we saw James Houston get
get
9 sacks.
And no lack of love to AQM. You've been awesome this year, man.
Yeah.
We're very appreciative of him. The rest is pretty much in the middle there, man. You got Reeder and you got Aleem. Obviously, we don't say his name around here. You don't know this, but LaBartney paid quite a bit for us to not mention his name. So MD will not be back on the edge, and he was moving around the line somehow. But Aleem, can we restructure this guy, bring him back, maybe add an extra year to him, and see if he's going to be better a full year removed from that break?
Yeah, 100%. Because the difference with ligaments and bone is ligaments take longer to heal. You know, Dr. Pierce has been in here. He's talked about that. I tore my ACL and I've broken bones. The bone process way easier than it was with the ligaments. It takes time. It takes time for the body to catch back up. Then it takes time for the mental to be able to say, okay, I'm cool, I got it. And I did that I was at 6'3", 215 when I played. Aleem's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
It may take more time to settle in. So I think there's a lot for Aleem McNeil. I still think he can be the player that the Lions want in that interior. I always go back to that Indianapolis Colts game. What I saw him do to Quentin Nelson, I was sold then. Takes another year. So restructuring, because that is a big deal. That is a hefty fee. Restructuring would be key for Aleem McNeil, because I still want him in the middle of that defense.
Prime Aleem.
100% prime, restructured.
What about Reeder? We'll finish up there.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I think he's on.
I think we all are.
I think he's on the who list.
Yeah.
He's on that MD list almost.
I told myself in 2026 I'll stop doing the who. You know, I don't want to.
He was supposed to be part of the boom, not part of the whom.
Yeah, this is true. I think you've
out of respect
seen,
for Bray, then
you've seen what you've seen out of DJ Reader. Appreciate the services, but I don't think that this is an individual that you need to bring back. But I could be wrong. I would. I think this
31.
is why you draft.
He's 31. They just don't do that.
This is why you draft Talik Williams.
I wasn't against it, but it just seems like his behavior on social media might, indicate that maybe he's going in a different direction. But people have done that before. Like the social media investigators will say, "Oh, this player did this." Maybe that means that they are heading in a different direction. And it didn't really mean anything. So
I'm gonna do you a favor. Go get you some business. Talk to those people. Go get some business.
Get some business.
Don't read
Get out of
into
his.
every single thing.
I'm going to tell you right now. Next year, the two oldest guys on this roster will be Jack Fox at 29 and Jared Goff at 31.
Yeah.
They'll both be turning 32 and 30. But Graham Glasgow, 33, might not be back. Millette, 32, gone. Decker, 32, we just talked about it. Skipper, 31, probably gone. Reeder, 31, gone. Khalif Raymond, 31, we'll see. Jalen Mills, 31, gone. Anzalone, gone at 31. AQM, priced out at 30. Ferkser, thanks for helping out, but you gone at 30. And then you're getting into, at the 29, Zylstra, Rocky Sin, 1 year, already off of his contract, DJ Reed, Avante Maddox, TK, MD, Kyle Allen. I mean, they don't keep around old stiffs.
Yeah.
They'll bring in some vets here to fill in a hole for a year, but there's a plan here in place. And if you're worried about that window, look at the core age of the guys that make things happen on this Pistons team, or Lions team, excuse me.
There you go.
Where's your mind? A little Freudian slip there.
Those
but
guys ain't going to play out.
All they need is an OC and an offensive line, and this team will go back to sustaining drives, capitalizing in the red zone, and doing whatever the hell they want.
And you know what? It was something that needs to return, and I think it will when they get that offensive line right. Controlling the time of possession.
Last night.
Yes, just like last night. There were times, many times last year where, over the last few years before this season, where we knew they could hang with a high-powered offense because they could actually control the time of possession down to the point where a lot of times the Lions were making sure they got one possession and the other team only got one possession in a quarter. Now they're not so able to do that, and that was glaring. It felt like they just couldn't stop anybody, especially in the red zone, which underneath AG – they were really good at, but they did have the ball hogs back there too. So
definitely had the ball hogs, and that's something else that is a topic as you look forward into what next season can be, man. The secondary, like Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and then what the DBs are going to be like. The secondary is going to be
that one.
It's going to be a very, very important part.
Yeah, hold that one. Let's take a quick one then.
Yeah.
Chat wants to keep Rocky Sin and Avante Maddox.
Let's
depth
talk about the
at this point
when we get back.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you need that depth. Rocky Sin is definitely a person that's showing you, look, I'm gonna be physical. I'm gonna be my guy. I'm gonna make some plays. I'll give up a couple plays, but he's a guy that I won't mind having on the team.
MVP of this year's secondary, bro.
The Legion of
whom?
Let's talk about that secondary.
Let's talk about that secondary when we get back. Michigan winner can slow you down. Can't slow you down, but you know what? We're not slowing down here at Woodward Sports, and neither is Smoothie King with the High School Athlete of the Week. We'll get back into that next week, but as of right now, just the flavors, just the rebranding of Smoothie King, you got to get the cut because they believe in real, and that is real authentic protein, real authentic fruit, real authentic ingredients. This is what's made that rebrand a legit one. This has made it a rebrand that I want to partner up with as well, man. I get these smoothies because I believe in them. I'm telling you, it's more than just a brand. Smoothie King is a way of life.
Bray, you were lucky you weren't here last Wednesday because poor Sweet Potato Cam's fingers were all frozen up. We made a call, and within, the drop of a hat, Sharon's was here, and we had the heat back on. I'm serious. They are top-notch. They've been keeping families in Michigan comfortable and safe for over 42 years. Head on over to SharonsHeating.com. You can schedule online. They've got top-notch service, as professional as they get, and they will get there quick. And they also offer financing options. So head on over to SharonsHeating.com.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin, feel Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Kill Sub-Zero.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Looking to take your relaxation to the next level in the new year here, 2026? Visit Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair showroom, not just in Michigan, the entire Midwest. Featuring top tier brands like Infinity and what we have here in the studio, Osaki. This is your destination for premium comfort and cutting edge wellness technology. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on the screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
To make a difference in the community in 2026, Amon-Ra St. Brown has started. And I'm talking about today to make a difference, not just on the field, but off the field as well. The St. Brown Foundation has partnered with Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and Wicked Awesome Wishes to host the main event. And that is today, ladies and gentlemen, not tomorrow, not next week. It is Monday, January 5th from 4 to 7 p.m. Children facing life-altering challenges and illnesses will join us at Lady Jane's flagship salon here in Birmingham for a night of joy and unforgettable memories. I'm talking about anything from hair painting, dye, to food, refreshments, conversations with Amon-Ra, the man himself, and all other types of missions. Join myself, Neil Rue. We will be in the building to make sure that the event just goes off in an amazing way. Love the fact that he is doing this on and off the field. The true testament of a player is not what you do on the field, it's what you do with what has been given to you, because who much is given, much is expected. Tune in to Woodward Sports Live today as we share and support this amazing cause. For more info, please visit stbrownfoundation.org or wickedawesomewishes.org.
And we back.
We appreciate partnering up with the St. Brown Foundation. I myself had a foundation when I was playing, and actually after football as well. It's very important to give back to the communities, because you may not see it. You may see it as just, oh, I'm just doing this. It goes a long way in the communities. It goes a long way into giving back and to helping people. You just see how their face lights up, the community's face lights up. And, if you can do it, you can. And he's doing it. Had a chance to partner up with him 2 years ago at a bowling event that he did, man. It was real awesome. Great guy. Excited that he's our wide receiver,
No doubt.
He's our guy. Excited for that. I feel like a lot happened while I was out of work, man. I didn't really touch on most of it.
Yeah, you missed bowling on Friday.
I was sick, but and we got New Year's. You got the Lions' last game. Yeah, USA has a 51st state, I believe. You got the NCAA. And snuck that one in there.
Kevin Stefanski's a free agent.
We knew that was going to happen. The Kevin Stefanski situation is an interesting one, because I think he's a good coach. I don't think he handled the Shedeur situation the right way, but I don't think that's his fault.
I don't think he had a choice.
And that's what I was going to say. It's not his fault.
He eventually got him in there.
And he eventually got canned. He eventually got canned too, and I think
for starting Shedeur.
Well, no, not for.
I know.
No. He was gonna get fired, and I think that's why he was ultimately upset. He was upset because this guy is either gonna get me fired. No, you got fired because you're gonna get fired.
Brown's gonna Brown.
Browns gonna Browns, man. Ravens Steelers last night. Lamar can't just he can't get lucky, man. He can't catch a break from.
And Aaron Rodgers continues, man. Even the sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while.
Old dog at that,
man.
An old dog at that.
I've come to like him. I come to like ayahuasca Aaron.
Yeah.
But after seeing that stupid, smug face of his on our Jumbotron after that, he went right back to the pits for me.
Yesterday was an interesting point. Everybody knows I'm a Lamar Jackson fan.
Same.
So I always want him to do the best. I wanted him to get in the playoffs last night. I thought it would be great. Yeah, especially starting 1-5. But there was a part. There was a part of me that when the kick went ride white and they showed Aaron Rodgers, I was like, Good for Aaron.
That was the number 1 draft pick in your draft, right?
Allegedly.
I love that story.
So he says. Where were we though? Before we went to that commercial break, Kool-Aid, you sprung on us. Talking about the Detroit Lions.
Oh yeah, the secondary.
Talking about their secondary.
Who we keeping? I see that there is some love in the chat for some of the secondary members that you guys were talking about as well. But love is real. I see him in the chat. He says, I was told Rakestraw is the savior, so there are some people who are not necessarily pleased with the direction they went in the draft, but there are some guys that they hope that they retain. I'm wondering, what about you guys?
It's funny that you don't pay attention to those draft picks until you need to pay attention to those draft picks.
I was going to say, Michael Ware is saying keep Maddox and Russin.
Yeah, keep them as depth pieces. You're looking for a 4 or 5 or 6. You keep them as depth pieces for sure. They've shown that they can play. They know the schemes. We've seen them playing big plays, so for sure. But you need some guys that can come in here and be some difference makers. You need some DBs that can cover, because what happens is you have to help Aiden Hutchinson out. You have to help El Qadim Muhammad out. You have to help Jack Campbell out by being able to cover at least for 2 seconds, 2-3 seconds. You help them out. Now you can start to get some coverage sacks. Now you can start to help out. But when Aiden doesn't have much time because wide receivers are getting open too fast, because tight ends are getting open so fast, it makes his job a lot difficult. They got to have some guys. They got to be able to cover guys this year and get better. I don't feel as the secondary got better outside of the Iraqi scene.
Well, let's get somebody in here for more than a year.
Yeah.
Carlton Davis, great signing, played really good. Then you got to figure out how to sign him again. Yeah. I like DJ Reed as a 5'9" nickel back, but you sign him to come in and basically be your number 1 or your 1B to the Terrion number 1 you hoped you would see.
The experiment.
Yeah, and I think that Terrion's going to be fine as a number 2 and maybe even progress to a number 1. But you got to go out and you got to get somebody that's going to be here for a few years. Commit to a pair of corners that can, you can buoy with, you can hold Terrion up, because we really have no idea what's going to happen with our 2 playmakers at safety. And if you don't know what's going to happen with those guys, and they carried our secondary, a secondary of corners getting burnt, getting pass interference calls. Yeah. So without those 2 guys, I think the most important signing for the secondary is a high-end, multi-year contract for a corner.
So basically, in the secondary, it's not a draft position for you unless you're going to get
how many first-year corners are great, man? I mean, I guess there's been a few. Kenyon Mitchell was pretty damn good last year, but you had to have some pretty damn good draft capital to get your hands on him. And most of those we've seen fail. I mean, Jeff Okudah was a fantastic piece for us. Great use of capital there. So, no, I think that's the position I'd like to see center and CB1 come through free agency.
All right, we'll get into more of what the Lions are going to do in the offseason, what they need to do. We'll get more into that conversation tomorrow. Anson's still in with me, and then all week we'll talk about that, because there's a long season ahead this offseason for the Detroit Lions, starting here on Black Monday. Cam, we talked about this offset. What were some moments that stood out to you this year? Because, it wasn't all bad. We didn't make the playoffs, so I think we've all made peace with that. We're here now on Black Monday. We're going to stop talking about what the season that was. What were some memories from this season, Cam? Some good ones, if you will.
My favorite memory really jumped off at the very start, where we saw that talent on full display. Tesla's
Isaac Tesla.
Little glimpse into the future there. That felt good. And then, of course, we all know what happened the remainder of the season.
Hey, Isaac Tesla made some catches this year, man. He started in preseason, got the crowd hype. I would like to see a lot more of him a lot sooner this year. Can we start the season? Start the season, this is our 3, this is the guy. And then whatever needs to happen, whatever the conversation was that we weren't privy to about why it took so long for him to play, why even once he started going, you still didn't necessarily see him get a ton of targets. Whatever that is, fix that now. Fix that in the offseason, fix that in April, fix that in May, so that when the season starts in training camp, we're seeing a bunch of this individual. Kool-Aid, I'm going with you next.
Yeah, you know what?
Give me a moment or two, man. There were still some moments for this Detroit Lions team. Jameer Gibbs provided some. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he provided some. J-Mo provided. Jack Campbell provided a lot. What were a moment or some moments that you enjoyed this year?
It was September 22nd.
Oh, you looked it up. Excuse me.
Listen, this was the one for me. I was like, you know what? Let me make sure I got all the facts. But It was the win over the Baltimore Ravens, man. It felt – I remember when we finally took out the Seattle Seahawks, a team that haunted us and Aaron Glenn for some time. And it felt good. But this one was one of those ones that felt like we had finally arrived. And still, as I look back over the season, you see with the Ravens, they still battled throughout that season. They made a formidable team, not the Ravens of old, but it also wasn't the team that we thought. Like, a lot of people thought, hey, that's not going to be a good win when you look back on it. But as I'm looking back, I'm like, you know what? I think that was a good win. It's a high point. You beat Lamar Jackson. And another thing for me is a couple games outdoors for Jared Goff this year. And, you see the Lions get the dub. One of those wins comes in the sweep of the Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson. That is another high point for me as well. So for me, instead of just plays, because I was thinking about like Jahmyr Gibbs when he went supersonic. But for me, it was those games. It was the Ravens games, and then I think sweeping Ben Johnson and the Bears. FTB. Shout out to Andy Isaac as well, man. Rest in peace.
FTB.
I know those are some good ones. Leave it to you to give me the moments and to take me there and give me the date and tell me what was going on and what smell was in there. Shout out to Kool-Aid. Anson, same for you, man. Give me a moment. Give me a particular play. What is something that you'll hang your hat? Not even to hang your hat on. It's something that you'll go back and chill as you're watching other teams in the playoffs and think about. What are the plays?
I got to give love to Kool-Aid as well as love is real in the chat, because getting out from under that Ravens curse that we had for years and losing to Lamar felt really damn good. We've been witnessing kind of a generational offense through the early part of the 20s. By the time that this decade's done, they might be talking about the Lions offense for a very, very long time. So I'm going to go with something that we didn't have for a while, something that's been a problem with this team for a long, long time. Shout out Chris Spielman, because we finally got your replacement, Mr. Jack Campbell. That guy has been an absolute revelation this year. One. A guy is he's in the argument of being the top 3 linebacker. The guy smashes and destroys lives. The guy calls the green, wears the green dot, makes the calls. I mean, his intuition and instincts have come alive this year. You saw him first come to Detroit, and he was overwhelmed. Even in his interviews, he admitted it. You saw him start to figure it out this year, or last year. This year, the guy became an all-pro. And he's going to be a lot of fun manning the middle of Detroit for the next decade.
Yeah, 100%. He definitely he's growing on me. Everybody remembers the infamous viral moment, me walking off the desk when he gets drafted in 2023. But he's growing on me, and I talked about him a lot this year. I said he was the best player on defense in terms of being the most consistent and always showing up. Yep. You can definitely count on him to be in the stat sheet, to be in the stat column, and show up a bunch of times. So I like that one. And I like his rise. For me, I got 3 for you. I got a game, I have a play, and then I have a player. The player is Jahmyr Gibbs, and it's the Giants game in particular. Like what he did. Look, the Giants game sucked as it relates to the entirety of the game, minus the win.
Everything but him.
Win is a win in the NFL. It's hard to win. They won that game, but what he was magnificent in that game. He almost had 300 yards of total offense in that game, including an overtime win on the very first play of overtime. That's the guy. The moment, if you will, or the play, it's the goal line stand against the Ravens. So it's the Ravens game, but it's the goal line stand. I believe that goal line stand in that moment for us as a Lions fan base. Look at me talking about us as a Lions fan base. I had to catch myself. Yes, sir. So it happens. I saw
you with the Lions park on and everything.
That's a lie. That's a lie. It's actually true. He's actually very true. No, but I think in that moment, this is what the Lions needed. We were talking about what is that signature win? What is that signature moment for the Lions? Now, the Ravens eventually finished under 500, but it doesn't matter. In that moment, that goal line stand, you see Jack Campbell, you see DJ Reed was right. It was an amazing play. Everybody was covered, did a lot of good on that play. Oh, man, Brian Branch in the back of the end zone covering. Like, that was a play. That was a moment where you're like, they get it. This is it. That Ravens goal line stand was everything. And then the game, I guess, or the belt to ass, if you say, excuse my French, it would be the very first time you played the Chicago Bears. And considering everything that was on the line, the thought process, here comes Ben. Ben's coming back to where he used to be, all the things that he may or may not have said, the little attitude and the little kind of comments, the snide remarks. We got something for you. And 52, That's legit.
Yeah.
Like 52 means you meant that. So for me, those are the moments. It would be the Gibbs game. It would be the Ben Johnson first loss because he lost twice. And then it would be that Ravens goal line stand.
Yeah, you remember how good that defense looked in the first third of the season, man? What the hell happened to that?
The offensive line.
Listen, they got tired, and then they got hurt. And honestly, that offensive line,
because you can't.
It's going to change so much for them next year.
I believe so.
I think so.
I definitely believe so. Kool-Aid, something else happened while I was out. Let's put the Lions on the show for a minute. Something happened in Ann Arbor, of all places.
Huh.
In Ann Arbor, of all places, there's a new hire. There's a new coach. There's a new set of coaches.
Huh.
There's a new regime in place. And there's a new feel in Ann Arbor. The University of Michigan's hire Kyle Whittingham, former Utah Utes head coach, now head coach of Michigan. We got the maize and blue. There we go.
Brand new era in the in-state rival.
Yeah, and Anson has an earpiece in, so it's like literally
I
this
hear
song
it.
is connected to
I
his
hear
soul
it.
right now.
It's not connected to my soul.
It's not connected
to the soul stealers below me.
All right, here we go. I'll just, you know what, Kool-Aid, I throw it to you. Ask me what do I think about the hire. There we go.
Hey, talk to us, brother. This is something we've definitely been waiting for. I know he went and he got arrested the assistants, which I'm
got
excited
arrested?
by. Hey,
That's what I heard too.
He got arrested.
Like, damn, that didn't take long.
Of the assistants.
Wolverines
I
like
got to
Wolverines.
scare the people out there,
like,
man. My
shoot.
bad.
Michigan
And I
go
see you also
Michigan.
grabbed
Hey,
somebody
Michigan
with a
State people
familiar
arrested,
last name as well from the Kansas City Chiefs
Only until they
organization too. So I like what he's doing so far. I really do.
Yeah, my take on it, look, everybody has to relax and not overthink it. Because everybody wants to come out and get everything right. Everybody wants to come out and say, oh, it's going to be this, that, and the third. Or it's not going to be this, that, and the third. It's not this, it's not that. Just calm down and take it for what it is. For the second coaching hire cycle for the University of Michigan Wolverines, they've had to hire a guy after the vetted time period. They've had to hire a guy. First time was Sharon Moore. We know how that ended. They hired him January after the national championship. This time you hire a guy December 15th and coach Kyle Whittingham, which is not opportune. With that being said, he's a much better coach than Sharon Moore was. He has a better record than Sharon Moore does. He has a better football acumen than Sharon Moore does. He will bring stability to the University of Michigan. He's already hired his staff. He's already gone out there and he's poached from BYU, getting Coach Beck. He's poached from Utah to get Utah to get Beck, and then BYU to get Jay Hill, the defensive coordinator. He's got his staff. The thing that I do appreciate about the hire, Ward Manuel said he wanted to get somebody that had integrity. That's what the University of Michigan needs right now. You need somebody that's going to be about the players, that is going to make sure that they are disciplined, make sure that they are doing things the right way, and focus on the football program and yourself. I think that's what he does. He's also bringing in people that he knows. Yes, it was a late hire, Cam. You're right about that. It sucks when you have to hire late. But he came in with his guys, got his guys, hey, I want this guy. Hey, will you come? Will you come? BYU is cooking with something right now. Jay Hill left. Like Utah, Jason Beck, he might be up next. He left. So I like the fact that he has guys that are willing to follow where he is, and he's a guy that people follow. So for right now, what Michigan needs is stability, and I think they got it in a guy who was 177 and 90 in his time at Utah. So for me right now, he said all the right things. I didn't like the fact that him and Urban so tight, but that's just a joke. But I like the fact he's going to come in. He'll bring stability for what they need. Right? I got to have some jokes in here somewhere, Cam.
I feel you, though. I didn't like that relationship either, but it is what it is. He's part of the tree.
Yeah, 100%. And you just look at some of the players that have gotten drafted in the NFL from Utah in the last 5 years. I mean, it's some players, that defensive line especially. Sione Vaki, we may need to ask him about his former coach.
Yeah, there you go.
Sione was a Utah Ute. So for right now, I think less is more. I appreciate the hire. I think he's going to got guys that he knows, guys that can coach, and guys that will bring about a new energy in Ann Arbor. And Michigan needs a new energy. Michigan needs new energy. So for right now, I think less is more. I don't want to no. I think he's got guys that he trusts. Those guys are readily available. He was able to bring those guys with him from institutions. I mean, BYU saw what they did last year. He was able to bring those guys in and get rocking and rolling. So we'll just see. I am positive that it will be much better than what the situation has looked like for the last 2 years in Ann Arbor. And that's all we really, as Michigan alum or Michigan fans, that's all we really can ask for right now.
And the big black M now stands for Mormon Mafia, correct?
I'm not touching that one.
No?
I can laugh.
I got a question.
I can laugh. I can't comment.
Actually, what is going on with the Michigan PSYOP on Utah Ute fans?
Well, I mean,
what are you guys doing to these poor people? You're stripping their whole program down, and they have turned into cucks.
Go do that to
for the
Northwestern.
Michigan program. Can you pull that thing up out of Slack there? This is just one little.
But who, in terms of Utah's program, like because
Anson, what do you want?
Anson, I say this: Whittingham was
the cartoon.
Whittingham was leaving, so he was out of Utah, and then Beck was.
But what is going on with this? You guys have completely psyoped their whole fan base
Who came
into
up with
thinking that the Utes actually think Michigan fan like really cares about them and loves them, and all that it is. Because listen, when Saban left and went to LSU, I wasn't all of a sudden an LSU fan.
He wants us with Northwestern.
No, I just think that this is hilarious. You guys have somehow owned a once proud fan base and turned them into your cucks.
But I feel like y'all can do this to Northwestern. I kind of want to see you make the appeal.
I don't need Northwestern's love. I do have a trivia question for you, though.
What's the trivia question?
You might have seen this.
I don't know.
What current NFL head coach has more rushing yards than Bo Jackson?
You know what? I saw that and I got it right. I got it right then,
It's
too.
not fair to ask you. Kool-Aid, you got an answer for that one?
But even then, I got it right without having to wait and see. It was easy.
For you,
what other coach played in the NFL?
All right, hey,
hold on.
Kool-Aid.
I'm not about to tell the answer. When the question was asked, which NFL current head coach has more rushing yards than Bo Jackson? Like, when you just phrase it like that, what NFL coach?
All right,
What'd you think about?
Who's your answer?
Take your time. just take your time. Like, it wouldn't be D'Amico Ryans. He's not on offense. It wouldn't be Vrabel. He catches touchdowns, not rushes for them.
He might have rushed a few times.
Not
more than Bo.
Not 2,900 yards worth.
Na, 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 na.
It's not Dan Campbell, if you were thinking. And I know
we
you
are,
were.
I was wondering how many
kind of
tight
on
end-
the topic
tight
right
end
now.
options that he.
We're
ran.
kind of on the topic right now.
It also was a telltale for who they asked the question to.
They started off with John Harbaugh, and he couldn't figure it out. It's his brother, Jim Harbaugh, has 2 more yards rushing than Bo Jackson on his career. Wild stat, right?
Wild stat.
Yeah, I thought you guys would get a kick out of that.
Absolutely wild stat. It's like now I'm sitting here, I'm like, why didn't I just say
See,
Jim
I told
Harbaugh?
you you'd have it, but it's not as clear and quick for everyone else.
I think the
That's a
big
good
thing
one.
it is the big thing for Whittingham for me is his biggest moment for right now is going to be from now until March, and that is dealing with all the individuals that are going to leave University of Michigan. We've already seen a list of players that are left. They're losing some talent, not a ton, but you're losing 14 guys. Who's up next? What does recruiting look like? Who are you bringing in? What is this open transfer portal cycle that starts in March? What does that look like? Like, getting stability, which is going to be the word, because this is what he's been brought in to do. He's been trusted. He's been entrusted with bringing stability to the University of Michigan. So this first 3 months is going to be very key. What do you do with the guys that are leaving? How do you get your guys to buy into what you are? Because a lot of guys that are leaving, they left because they either, one, didn't trust what the change was about to happen, or they felt betrayed by what Michigan had become. So that first 3 months, first really month, it's going to be very key in terms of the guys that are leaving, the guys that may come in, and then getting the guys that are already there, which should be one, getting them to buy into whatever it is you're selling. Whatever it is you're selling.
I hate this move for you guys because it's a really good one. You guys had your back against the wall, and you needed not just a coach, you needed a man to come in and spank some ass and put people in timeout and fix the things going on in Ann Arbor. I think he's capable of not only doing that, but also being a very good coach. He's going to bring some good players and some staff with him. I think it's going to be more than 2 years, though.
Yeah. You think it's going to be more than 2 years in terms of what his
how long he'll be there?
Yeah.
Because you think it's 2 years. Two and a half.
I didn't
What's
say
over under.
I didn't say 2 years, but you said what's the over and under?
Yeah, I'll go 2.5. You going to take over or the under on that?
Tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Let's get a quick commercial
Let's
break.
do it. Pay some bills, baby.
Pay some bills, man. Tell me a little bit about Les Stanford, Anson.
Hey, it's a new year. you got to get some new wheels. And look at those deals. $189 for a 2026 Silverado is wild. The 2025 XT6 for only $359, or an awesome deal with that Enclave 2026 new model, only $299 a month. Give them a call, 248-206-6600 or 313-565-6500. Head on over to lesstanford.com and get yourself some new wheels.
Oh man, Jack's Car Wash is the place. Free car wash. Well, if you're ready to follow, it's WSN. Text that to 888-522-1729. Text that, get yourself a free car wash with over 40 locations around the state. Jack's is the car wash for you. It doesn't matter if it's gray days like this, or if it's sunny days, or if it's even raining. It's always time to get a car wash from Jack's. Free vacuums, free compressor air, free mat cleaning. They got the works, but that's only if you get that unlimited plan. Make sure you sign up for that unlimited plan, $29.99. And let me tell you, it's worth it. Jack's Car Wash, they are the best.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Trust the guy we trust, and that is Dr. Jeff Pierce. He is our injury insider here at Woodward Sports. You can catch him on Big D Energy on Tuesdays, and you can catch him here, the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep on Thursdays. He has all the insight, all the information, and he can tell you about the injuries and what's going to happen. Also, if you call 248-426-9944 or scan this QR code, he can get you back to your peak optimal performance as well. Doc knows all the diagnoses. He knows all the things related to medicine. We use him. We trust him. So should you.
Hey, when you think Detroit pizza, you only think one. You think Buddy's Pizza. They've been doing it for 79 years. They got 20 locations over the state. And listen, they originated the best style of pizza in the world. You can get 10% off your entire order using that promo code you see there, 10MEAL. That's 10, MEAL. You can find yourself the location nearest you when you head on over to buddyspizza.com.
We back.
Man, we got a couple more minutes with you left in the show. Excited we can see everyone in the area, because if you've never been here, how it's set up, the studio is here. It's all under one building. Lady Jane's is through that window, as you always see, and then Birmingham Roast is through these windows. So we can see everybody getting set up and getting ready for the main man, number 14, Amon-Ra St. Brown. But before we dive into what that there is about, we want to get into a little bit of Pistons, I thought. Didn't you say something about the Pistons? Kool-Aid.
Pistons.
What's that Pistons talk? I know that's your squad.
Detroit Pistons
the
versus
Detroit
the New
Pistons.
Year.
Now, last 10 games, 6-4.
Peasants.
They won last night. They played tonight against the New York Knicks. Kool-Aid, do the Pistons need another player? That's the one question I want to ask you, and then you can do whatever you want. Do the Pistons need another player? Because one thing that I noticed, whether it's a win or it's a loss, you're going to look in the columns. You're going to look at the points, and you're going to scroll down the points, and you're going to see 120. And that 20 is usually a 27. And sometimes it's a 33. That belongs to Cade Cunningham. Every other number is under 20. Except for last night, what's Green had, or not Green, but had 27. But usually you look at the games, there's 19, there's an 11, there's a 12. Do the Pistons need another player? Because I think they do.
I think they do too. It's just a matter of when. I believe that what they're going through in Trajan Langdon is very, very cerebral. That front office is very, very smart. And I believe they try to trajectorize what these moves will be able to do for them. So if there's not a move that can make them championship ready right now or put them on that trajectory, then you will see them go and make marginal moves at the trade deadline to bolster at least what they can be this year. You know, because to make that swing, you got to know that you're better than SGA and the OKC Thunder. To make that swing, you have to know that you are clear-cut, head and shoulders better than everybody else in the East. Yeah. And I know that with Michael Blackstone, that front office, and Trajan Langdon and the way he thinks, this is the process. And you mix that in with JB Bickerstaff, who's big on chemistry, cohesion, keeping the unit together. So I do believe at some point they are going to make that move, but I think that they're going to wait to see what happens on this squad while they continue to grow first. I really do. But between you and I would like to see Cade have somebody that can go out there and get it easy 20, 25 a night. Easy.
Okay, Anson, on you. I like what he said. Are the Pistons currently, do you believe they're the number one seed in the East? Number one team in the East, not seed. Yes, they are, but number one team.
I thought they were better than the Peasants last year. I mean, we basically beat them, and then they had the refs. We didn't have Beef Stew, one of the premier rim defenders in the league, and we didn't have Jaden Ivey.
Let me bring you into the 2025.
I'm just saying last year I thought we should have beaten them. Okay. I didn't think that their best thing that they did was get a new coach.
But that team for the Pistons doesn't exist anymore.
And I think that this team is better. I think that it's deeper. I think that it's more experienced. I do believe that we are better than the Knicks. I do believe that we will beat them in a 7-game series. I believe that we may not have home field advantage for that. We have a very daunting schedule coming up in February and March. But I think that this team is designed, their physicality, their defensive switching, they are designed for the playoffs. Can they beat OKC without a third true scorer? In my opinion, no, not yet. It's a stepping stone league. They got to get there.
Y'all got to slow down with the OKC talk. Like
I've been telling you for 2 years they're on the precipice of a dynasty.
No, I know that, but I'm saying like y'all talking about like beating OKC.
No, I'm talking about being in the finals.
That's the target. Yeah, if you make that move, you got to know you could beat them, and if you can't, then you're just making a move to be second.
Yeah,
they're official.
To answer your question, I do think that third scorer might be on this team.
Okay.
And I've heard them say that this team, this young crew, is ahead of schedule and that they want to grant them the opportunity to do it by staying together. That being said, I'll take Trey Murphy all day long on this team. And I know that it hurts to think about losing Ron Holland and some picks.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't, bro. It doesn't for me either. You bring in Trey Murphy and you can compete with any team in the NBA for the next 5 years.
Do you consider that like a big move? Because that was one that I would consider one that doesn't jar or shake like too much of what they can be in the future as well.
Well, it's not giving up like 4 first-round picks and Asar and Ivy to go and try and get Giannis, who has not played more than 65 games in 7 straight seasons.
Yeah, that's the NBA, though.
Well, sure, but at the same time, I want somebody that's going to be out there that's young, that we're not just cashing in to try and get one run at a chip. This team is built the same way OKC is built, and I haven't seen any other team in the NBA being built that way. Houston had an opportunity, but then they went out and they splurged and got KD. So this team needs to be held together, but they do need that third scorer. Not sure that if it's going to be Ivy. I still have faith that by March, April, you're going to see a fully healthy and fully confident Jaden Ivey in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just love how you guys they can compete with OKC now. We're
They can't.
We're talking about. We're talking about a best of 7. We're not talking about some TNT Tuesday night
with
game.
Trey Murphy. They can compete.
7.
They listen. The Pacers took them 7, and that was because they were new. They were a young team mostly, and they figured out how to win. If the Pistons get there and had somebody like Trey Murphy on the 2, 3, 4, that outside 3, I mean, the guy can score at all 3 levels, and he's a hell of a defender, great rebounder. That, to me, is a 13-man deep team, just like OKC, but you got your big 3, just like OKC.
As a player like Trey Murphy, does that take you over the top as it relates to the East, Cam? Do you believe you get a player like Trey Murphy, you bring him in, does that give you confidence and faith that, oh, yeah, Pistons will come out of the East?
It really does, though. I mean, barring everyone stays healthy, I really like how yesterday they won without Duran and learning how to do all that. Unk was out of there also.
Tobias.
You insert Trey Murphy, though, then you really know what you're getting night in and night out, at least from those two.
Okay, so if we're calling Tobias Unk, then what's my nickname? What's my nickname?
What
Tobias
up,
is Unk.
Big bro.
I got Tobias by about 6. 6 years, man.
Still different vibes.
It's all relative.
Nah,
we're talking about the team, though.
I'm joking. I just like to crack jokes sometimes. Hey, it got a little chilly in here, huh?
Oh, man.
Look at that coat you got.
I know. It's my carpet coat.
Nice and warm over there.
Kind of.
Nice and warm over there. 6-4. What have you seen out of the Pistons, though, in the last 10 games? What have you actually seen out of the Pistons the last 10 games? I think they're 10 games ago would have been December 15th till now.
I've seen them kind of regress a little bit on the defensive end, and Isaiah Stewart talked about that after the last game. And he was like, yeah, we got to get back to making sure we're this consistently. Otherwise, you could cost yourself come playoff time. But what I have been comfortable with is that they've responded. I think a sign of a good team is how you respond after you might have a little bit of a down. And they responded and looked just like themselves. It's getting to the point in the season now where, you know what, when they have some struggles, you instantly say that's not their identity. And then they're able to get right back to it, showing that they can dust it off a little bit, similar to like the Lions maybe 2 years ago, who 2.5 seasons didn't lose back-to-back games. It was a little bit of that I saw in the Detroit Pistons coming through this West Coast trip, and then bludgeoning LeBron James as well as what they did in their last game.
Yeah, I see people like Dante saying, I really like Ron Holland, but in that Miami game when Duran goes out in the first quarter, and you got a guy like Spo who knows how to defend one player, and they kind of really locked Cade up. Not so much kept him from scoring, but they were running double teams at the right time, and then they were playing the passing lanes, and he really looked exposed at the end of that game. You got a guy like Trey Murphy that you can't leave open, that can create his own shot. I do love Ron Holland. I love what he puts out there on the floor, and I do believe that he can grow into a very good player. I don't think he ever grows into a 25 and 8 a night guy like Trey Murphy is.
Yeah, 25 and 8. That's a different number. Those are the numbers that you're looking for.
Consistently, like Cam said.
You have to have a number 2 that can get you 34.
Yep.
Like 30. Let's
like
say
J-Dub, baby.
At least a consistent 20. It's like you don't know on a given night who could score 24 other than Cade. And I've appreciated the fact that they've had the depth out there so that they can make up for that. That's one way I know they've tried to go out there and create these the fictitious other scores, because you look at them, they have a decent offensive rating to pair with one of the best top 2, top 3. I think they're still number 2 in the league defensive rating. And so that helps them. I hope that people like Dennis Jenkins and Marcus Sasser and those guys get their shots, but I hope it doesn't come at the detriment of the Pistons trying to improve, because I believe you get yourself a Trey Murphy, you're putting yourself in a position to where, I'm not even going to say arguably, I believe you're just the best team in the Eastern Conference, giving yourself the best opportunity to come out of the East. Right now, I have them at at the very least, be in that Eastern Conference championship game, or give yourself a good 6 or 7 games to try and get there. I believe right now that's the peak or the ceiling of this Pistons team, but you add Trey Murphy to it, and you are instantly the sure, solid number 1 team in the East.
Knicks would have to make a move. Be honest with you.
But what else are they going to be able to do?
Right.
Because at that point in time, they would have to sell out and go full-fledged for forming a real big 3.
I think they're going to.
That's what they'd have to do. And
they're going to try and move Cat.
that's the only thing they can do at this point in time. Yeah. That's when you think about it. Even if they don't, they kept Cat and Brunson and decided to just take everything else and put it out there for maybe a third star. Now I think that you're damaging a little bit of what makes New York Knicks tough. It was that depth that they had last year.
And a great super chat here by Silas for $5. Also, guess what? The Thunder like Josh Giddey, but they traded him. You got to make moves to win in the NBA. And that move, hey, it was a head scratcher because Giddey's this guy who's
until you see that Caruso becomes
was able to
NBA
check
veteran.
Joker. I mean, what a piece he was. They don't win that championship without him.
Oh, hell no. I don't know. When he comes in on the second team, like he comes there, he brings that energy, he brings that experience, and people underrate experience. I don't know at what point experience went out the window. You say, you don't have to have experience. I beg to differ. Caruso in that second team, right. You saw it too because in that Indiana Pacers series, when they were struggling, it was Caruso in a couple of those games in that second team that got them back going and then allowed SGA to, I can come back and get active 100%. We're about 15 minutes away from the Amon-Ra St. Brown, his foundation, the event with Wicked Awesome Wishes here at Lady Jane's studio. Can't wait to see some of the kids coming in now. Yep. When you see kids come in to see their idols or their heroes, it's always it's so sweet. It's the best. They're just eyes wide open. There's balloons going in. The music has just started. The groups, everybody's setting up, man. We'll do one more break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about the foundation, what it does, and we'll talk a little bit about St. Brown, as he deserves. But first, let's get one last message in from Black Rock. They launched a whole new menu. That's what I'm talking about, but they returned a few items. It's the newest way to sizzle. Prime sirloins are here to stay, not just for a meal, but it's that Top Rock experience. Also, all you can eat platters for just $20. And if you mention Woodward Sports, once again, if you mention Woodward Sports, you get 20% off your food. But I don't know about you. That sounds good to me. Black Rock Bar and Grill is a sizzle above the rest.
Hey, Lady Jane's, they did it again.
They did.
Lady Jane's Wicked Awesome Wishes, big part of today's event. The main event with Amon-Ra St. Brown. But hey, they're all over the place. Lady Jane's, you can walk in anytime. You don't need an appointment. They're open 10 to 8. You just sit there, relax. That talented staff is going to take care of you and get you looking good. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Listen up. This is your last chance to register for the Woodward Sports Wicked Pickle Open January 9th through the 11th. It's 3 days of nonstop pickleball, men's, women's, mixed, and singles divisions. This is where champions are made. And come out Friday night at 7:30 p.m. The Woodward Sports Celebrity Tournament hits the court. All your favorite Woodward Sports personalities are throwing down, plus local celebs, and it's all broadcast live. Sign up now at pickleballtournaments.com. Scan that QR code for more information or call Wicked Pickle at 734-331-3451 for more. And you know what? Tell them about Caesars Sportsbook. Tell them how they can win some money, brother.
For sure, Kool-Aid. Check it out. You can place any bet up to $1,000. And if you lose, you get that back. All you got to do is scan the QR code. Enter the code Woodward1000. And if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to one entire stack back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet just $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
Dan's one of the best leaders that I've ever been around in my life, whether it's a coach or not. His ability to rally, men, not even a group of boys or teenagers. These are grown men you're talking to that have families. To rally all of us together, I think he's one of the best at that. And I wouldn't want to be playing for any other coach. I love Dan.
We wouldn't have any other wide receiver here other than Amon-Ra St. Brown, who will be with us shortly as his foundation, as well as Chad, our CEO and boss, Wicked Awesome Wishes, as well as Lady James, as they get set to, provide that joy, provide that spark to people that need it, man. It's nothing like giving back. And he and his foundation, this is their second event. They seem to understand that, man. It's funny, receivers, but giving is the ultimate call. Giving is
well played.
That's actually, but that was the tagline in my charity foundation. It was like receiving means giving. That was kind of like our tagline. But so proud that he's done it here with Woodward Sports. Excited to see what the event is going to be, and just excited to watch him in his element. So much we watch him on the field. We see the touchdown celebrations, the choreography. We see the blocks. We see the catches. We see the leadership. But to see it off the field, to see it when he's engaging with this community, when he's going to be engaging with these families, it's going to be exciting to see. And I'm excited as a fellow football player / giver. It's going to be good to watch.
Yeah, no, it's really all the preparation for the event, all the excitement, all the different people and companies that are involved. There's so much being done, not only by Lady Jane's, but by the St. Brown Foundation.
100%.
The family itself, we're so lucky to have them here in Detroit.
Sister Brooklyn my sister's name is Brooklyn, ironic enough, but his sister Brooklyn, his brother Equimanian, that's what it's about. It's about the family dynamic. You can tell that his parents, man, they really instilled in him what it meant. Like, once you got to this level, all right, now you're here. You can't just catch touchdowns. Yeah. You can't just play on the field. You can't just have fun and do touchdown celebrations. You got to do some other things that matter. Because the way I always looked at giving is this community here in Detroit has taken you in. When you get drafted to a city, I got drafted to Cleveland Browns. That city of Cleveland, they took me in. City of Detroit's taking him in. They champion him. So to be able to champion the community, to be able to champion the city as well, that's when the city gets to see, oh, you know what? Yes, like, this is what it's about. We drafted the right one. We champion the right one. We cheer for the right one, because he's doing all the things that he's supposed to do.
And EQ, Equanimous, was actually how I stumbled down the St. Brown rabbit hole. I was scouting him for my rookie draft and, coming out of ND, and you learn about the family background and just what a cool story that is. And, he may not have played for the Lions, but I think we all kind of think of EQ as a honorary Detroiter here.
Yeah, 100%. When they first started doing that podcast, and they were going back and forth with St. Brown and Equanimous, you're going back and forth, the Browns, and you would see some cheering of him for the Lions. Like, when the Lions would make plays and do things, I'm like, oh, okay, he's got some love for the Lions, and eventually now you see it a lot more. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this, Cam? You excited for the event, man? Excited to see what happens, watching out, whatnot?
I really am. I echo y'all's sentiments. It really is all about the kids. The kids, they're going to remember this. This is going to be a core memory for them, So it could be like, remember that time we were hanging out, we got our hair dyed? Oh, yeah. Parents are going to be like, we got the pictures. Check out the photo of Amon-Ra. So, let's do it for the kids. Let's do it for the community. It's all love. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Chad though. Shout out to Chad as well as Wicked Awesome Wishes. They've given a lot of money and they've given a lot of time. It's always not about money. It's about effort. It's about energy, and I think that's what Wicked Awesome Wishes does so well. Is they give the time, they give the effort, and that's what we're seeing from the Amon-Ra St. Brown Foundation today. They're giving time, they're giving effort, they're giving energy, and a lot of people are going to leave here, man, with smiles on their faces, and that's going to resonate throughout their families and ultimately throughout the community. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about.
And we got some of our awesome sponsors here today. The food that's going to be
Black
served
Rock,
up, man. We got the Glamour stations out there. We got Choff, one of the original personalities on he did the skating and alternative sports here at Woodward. He's throwing down some tunes, and it's just going to be an absolutely awesome all hands on deck charity event. I mean, we've been working for this for weeks now, but you see LJ Corp as well as Roast and everybody from Woodward come together, and all of these awesome sponsors. I can't wait, man. And I am excited to get out of this AC that they are absolutely smashing us with. By the way, Arf, shout out. He said that this Anson's jacket is giving him 1973 Eldorado ceiling carpet vibes. It's what I was going for, bro.
Somebody.
It is. You know it's what I was going for, though.
Who said that in the chat?
Arf number 9.
Yo, Arf,
shout out.
Hey, Arf, that was solid. That was solid. I was thinking more like El Camino floor, like the floor back
with
in the
little
day.
dangles up on those. Man, I love
he's
that.
on that, man. We got. I feel like today's show is one of those interesting ones. It was like we had to condense me coming back from vacation, what's happened, the Lions winning yesterday but losing the season, St. Brown's Foundation, the Pistons, Whittingham jumping back to the Lions, and now talking about what the foundation is. We promise tomorrow and the rest of the week the structure will be a little bit more chill. We'll be able to actually dive into some things and elongate the conversation, but today we want to touch as much as we can. Pause on that one. Are we leaving pause in 2026?
It seems like it's been left for a couple months now.
And I did and I didn't, and I'm back. And
it's kind of a natural thing.
I think it's when I get into the host chair, I become like pause, like it resonates a lot.
Well, it's a good thing you and KG aren't together because you guys love that word. He played a pause game a lot.
I've been playing the pause game for too long though, man. Like, because it used to be another name. Everybody knows what that is. No blank.
Yeah, that one was short-lived.
I started playing that one. Nah, no, it doesn't. I started playing that in college.
No, did he?
No, it was.
Oh.
You can't.
Like that. The Roy Hibbert interview, if you will.
Oh yeah.
There you go. The Roy Hibbert interview. That interview was 2013. We were playing that game. 2000, because Larry Foote used to always say it. Shout out to Larry Foote, defensive coordinator with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just won that division, yet again with a losing record. Shout out to the Tampa Bay Bucs. But Larry used to say it all the time. I was like, what does that even mean? He's like, man, you can't say this and that and the third. So, what was that, 26 years? Time to hang it up.
It might be the year.
Time to hang it up.
Might be the year.
Kool-Aid, do we have
sir.
any super chats? Do we have anything that we need to get to in the last 3 minutes before it's time to go out here and mingle with the good folks?
Yeah, hey, middle-aged sneaker chick with the $2 super chat says, Bray, Brooklyn is his girlfriend. Shout out to Brooklyn, strong figure behind Amon-Ra as well. Silas Byrne, $5 super chat. He says, also, guess what the Thunder liked? Josh Giddey, but they traded him. You got to make moves in the NBA. Shout out for the super chat, man.
See, that's why I love middle-aged sneaker chick. You know, keep me on
us on our
point.
toes,
I told
man.
you it's been a cram day. My apologies, absolutely correct.
She ain't playing.
But my sister's name is Brooklyn.
Shout out, man.
Yeah,
and I'm sitting here. Let me
100%.
see.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah. Michael Wary, he's asking, can we get a new OC that knows what he is doing for the Detroit Lions?
I agree.
I definitely feel that one.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look, and for a lot of individuals, they want to talk about Dan Campbell. They say, look, Dan Campbell, he just has to get used to being the OC. Next season could be a better situation. I don't want Dan Campbell to have to worry about the offensive play calling. I think he's a great motivator when he can focus on both sides, when he can focus on the defense, the offense, the players. When he can pay attention to all of the game, I think he's at his best. So I think how you help him is getting that offensive coordinator and getting someone in that can – when you don't want to be up at night. Like Kool-Aid, Cam, Anson, you don't want to be up at night like, man, what is my call? What is he gonna call on third down? Dang, what might he call when they do this? You don't want to be up at night worrying about what your play caller is going to call. If that's the case, then he shouldn't be your play caller. So you got to get a guy that you can go to sleep feeling comfortable about.
We got a lot of super chats that we did not get to, guys. We apologize, but we are up against it here. The St. Brown Foundation event is going to take over in just 15 minutes. We got a very special edition of the Heavies. They'll be kicking things off at 4 o'clock. So stick around. Don't move. You can hear it going on in the background. And damn, Bray, it's good to have you back, bud.
It's good to be back,
Welcome
man.
back,
And this is just the beginning. Tomorrow, we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling, man. We appreciate you guys for tuning in to the Braylon Network Show with Shep. And have some fun, man. Look, I understand how the season ended, but remember how the season ended. It ended with a win. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk about the Pistons win as they will win tonight against the Peasants, as my guy, Anson Wells says. Until then, we appreciate you. See you tomorrow.
Blessings.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.